Hey there, folks. It is an obscenely rainy night here in North Carolina. The perfect night to do another camera resurrection. I'm told by the young folks this is going to be what they refer to as a quickie. And the patient today, the Target Brownie Six-20 box camera, made by Eastman Kodak, of course. This is an Art Deco model, 620 format. That means it is essentially 120 format, medium format film. However, to fit the modern 120 film into this camera, you either have to do what I do, re-spool it onto 620 rolls, or augment your 120 rolls. We all know which one I prefer to do. Overall, this beautiful girl is in terrific condition. The shutter is still very strong in there. The spring is very strong on the auto or the timed, or that is bulb exposure on this. The leatherette is a little dirty. We're going to be cleaning that up and overall cleaning the camera in general. Now the big thing, both of the viewfinder mirrors are popped off. So I'm going to have to take off the front plate, take the whole front of the camera apart, get in there, re-adhere and clean those mirrors so you can see the viewfinder through the prism. And then clean off the lens, of course. Take a look at the shutter while I'm in there just to be sure everything's okay. Another sticking point, this little guy right here, the aperture selector, appears to be a little jammed. I want to try to get that liberated and cleaned off a little bit, but if not, we'll just be shooting at the largest aperture. Now I'll say this is one of those rare occurrences, folks. This camera does not belong to me. Good buddy of mine at work, he randomly had these, and I am a psychopath, as we all know. So I volunteered to clean it up for him and hopefully get him to shooting film so we can ruin his life too. So other than the cleaning and the viewfinders, like I mentioned, I'm going to polish up the front plate and then possibly strip off what little bit of this black paint remains on the front edges here and then repaint that. I'm not sure. After I clean up the leatherette, I've got a feeling I'm going to like the sort of vintage appeal of that metal. So we may end up repainting this, we may not. We'll see here in a minute. And just a reminder, folks, a like costs nothing, a follow costs nothing. So if you enjoy what you see here on the channel, I would greatly appreciate it if you do either one of those two things, or both, or hey, share the video to somebody who you think might enjoy it as well. And with all that out of the way, let's go. Let's catch up to where we are in the process thus far, shall we? As you can see, the main front plate has been removed. The rear plate has been removed. Now this is what holds the quote-unquote lens of the Target 620 Brownie, and you see these two top optics here. Those are the covers for the viewfinders, the vertical and horizontal viewfinder. I will of course be cleaning both of those optics. The plate itself, very clean. Something I should have mentioned, to get this off, I had to bend the auto and bulb lever, and this just slid right through the gap of that. So when we reassemble everything, we'll slide that back in, bend this down, and it should work. Oopsie daisy. And it should work exactly how it worked before. As for the shutter itself, as of right now, it's on the auto setting. Very snappy if you really quickly crank down on that lever, but if you were to gingerly press it down, it takes a minute for that spring to catch up with the shutter, if it does at all. There we go. See that lag? So to remedy that, one of two things, or maybe both, I may do. This little spring right here is what controls that front shutter plate. I may twist that one turn just to make the spring itself a little stronger. First, before I do that, I'll put a little dollop of alcohol on there, clean it off, and then put, I'm talking maybe half a micron of typewriter oil on there, a very small, minuscule amount of oil, if any, and see if that helps before I actually tension that spring any more than it is. The same goes for the main return spring over here on the right. I'm just going to put some typewriter oil on that. It's got a little bit of rust on there, but nothing too bad. And as far as the shutter itself goes, that's really going to be it. Now, interestingly enough, the Brownie Target 620 has an aperture selection. If I'm not mistaken, it's f11 or f8 or f16 and f22. I'll pop that up on the screen just to be on the safe side. So that was jammed up, but after I was in here, I was able to just reach around, pop that up, And that moves fairly freely. As of right now, I'll probably do the same thing again. I'm going to alcohol that off, put a tiny bit of typewriter oil on there. So hopefully that moves just a little bit better. Definitely not enough oil to get down there and randomly cover up that aperture. Just right here where that groove connects. Now the viewfinders, the vertical viewfinder I didn't think worked. I thought the mirror had slipped on that as well, but apparently that's in there. That's just really, really, really dirty. Now the horizontal viewfinder here, of course the prism itself is dirty and the mirror is dirty, but we will be re-adhering that with some E6000 cement, and that will never come off there again. Now to clean the prisms themselves, they have some fungus, of course they have some dirt. We'll blow them out, get the bigger particles off of there, brush them out, get the bigger particles off there, like I said, and start with some hydrogen peroxide for that fungus, followed up by some isopropyl alcohol. And then we will just wipe everything down and reassemble that mirror on the horizontal viewfinder, and that should be it for those. Now I did mention that I had thought about taking off the front plate here and cleaning off a little bit of old paint that's left and repainting it. If this was my camera, I may do that, but on closer examination, I notice it's held in there with these little tacks all around. And if I were to break one of those, if I were to crack the little balsam wood in there, well, I probably couldn't get the thing back together, so I'm going to forego that. Honestly, I think after everything is cleaned up, that leatherette is cleaned up, the front plate is cleaned up, I actually think it's going to add a nice contrast having the original condition of that steel plate in there. Like I said, anything could change, but as of right now, I've decided against repainting the front there. The only other thing I found, folks, the I believe it was the bottom spool return here. I've went ahead and put the original 620 spool back in there. This little guy, again, held in there with tacks. That's the tensioner for the, I suppose that would be the front side of the film spool. That was very freely moving, almost about to come out of there, and I literally just pushed that tack back in, and that's working perfectly right now. Nice and springy. Not going to do anything else with that. So yeah, after we get everything put back together, I'm going to use some saddle soap to clean up our leatherette. And I believe that's going to be a Bob's your uncle situation. So, back to this sped up video. Man, a lot can happen in just a few minutes, can it not? Little update. Front plate, cleaned, polished, looks very nice. Right there at the end, used a little bit of toothpaste and then a little bit of Windex to polish that up. The Windex cleans off everything as a sort of an ammonia cleaner. The toothpaste is essentially a very mild abrasive to polish up the metal there and the lacquer that's still on the Art Deco front. The Windex just cleans all that off, makes a nice little even finish. Now, I think you saw me lubricating the, well, that is cleaning and lubricating the front shutter here. That is working beautifully. I dumped a lot of alcohol in there after all. One empathizes. And that really crisped up that shutter. I did not end up twisting the spring to add any more tension. I just got rid of the old, I guess, gunk in there, and then like I said, put a tiny amount of typewriter oil on these two articulations and the articulation down here at the lever. And even when you slowly depress that lever, the shutter fires. So that is great to see. The aperture selector, still extremely tight to pull up there. You can do it. I'm going to dump some oil in there, and hopefully that will free that up just a little bit. By the time I put the camera back together, hopefully that will be something that's not an issue anymore. Yeah, that's no bueno. Very pleased with the viewfinders. I defungied the prisms. I cleaned off the mirror. Just went and got my E6000 cement. Going to put the freshly cleaned horizontal mirror back in there. Yeah, horizontal mirror. And yeah, that should be fine. The underlying plate here that has the optics for the viewfinders, those have been cleaned. The front element here has been cleaned. And something I did not realize, it was a little bit of a surprise. I'm going to try to hold this down so you can see it. Maybe not, maybe sorta. There is an additional element right there over the main aperture. I thought that was just an open cavity, an open hole, but no, that has some glass in there. I saw it refracting when I was articulating the shutter, so I'm going to clean that real quick. Same thing that we did with the front element here and the viewfinders here. I will do some peroxide, some alcohol, and then that should be good to go. Now, before we reassemble everything, I will be paying some attention to the outer body of the camera. Again, the leatherette's going to be the big thing. We're going to clean that off with some saddle soap. Going to clean off the little red area here. Honestly, with today's films, the non-orthochromatic films with the black and white, and especially the color, if that needs to have a little cover over it, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, we're going to clean everything off, maybe polish off these little articulations here. Might even add a little piece of leather, because at one time this had a little handhold on there. We'll see how that goes. But overall, we are in the home stretch. Back to the high-speed video. To be completely honest, I'm not sure what happened, but I popped this little tack right here, right out of the aperture bar, and the aperture bar worked perfectly fine without it. So I'm not sure if that's something that's even needed in there, but I did locate it again, the tack that is, and put it back in. Not quite as far into the balsa as it was before. I'd already cleaned it with alcohol. I put a little tiny dab of typewriter oil in there, and that moves just fine. So I'm going to put a little bit of typewriter oil right up top here. I think that's where the main oxidization was, and hopefully that will not seize up again. Right. But at any rate, the aperture is now selectable again. That's a win. So now I'm going to go about gluing the mirror back in, and then cleaning up the outside after that. Like I said, that little tiny element inside, the very last inner element, I'm going to clean that, put everything back together. We should be good to go. Well, if you can hear me over Leia drinking down there, that's it. The Kodak 6-20 Brownie Target is resurrected. Tomorrow I may cut a little piece of leather, put it up top here, but functionally, overall, couldn't be more pleased. Of course, clean the viewfinders, replace that mirror. Here on the horizontal side, that is working beautifully. Freed up the aperture selector. I may bend this back just a tad to be able to get a fingernail under there a little easier, but that's working beautifully now. Same way for the shutter. There's auto. Pull that out. There's bulb. Very snappy now. The shutter, doesn't matter how slowly or fast you depress that. That articulates as it should. So yeah, what else can you say? Use saddle soap to clean the leatherette. After that was clean, I minked everything with some mink oil. So essentially this camera is waterproof on the leatherette now. On the rear side, a little bit of peeling I didn't worry with. Adds character, as they say. Cleaned out the film port there. Like I said, really, it's useless these days. But you can still see the frame counter going down there. That being said, like I said, I'm going to load up some 620 film. That's 120 respooled on another 620 roll. And this camera, my God, ready to go. The rain is still coming down here, guys. In North Carolina in the wee hours of the morning, another successful resurrection here of this Kodak Brownie Target 620. Nothing like it in the world. Glad to see this old girl gonna have new life. I know everybody says it, guys, but again, like and subscribe if you enjoy this. If you have any questions, comments, well, there is a comment section down at the bottom. Check out the description to give a little bit more information about the camera, the processes, the things that I use here. Until next time, folks. Oh, yeah. Now she's done.